Heartstrings by H.G. Studios. Nastasia Faney pushed her shopping cart slowly down the cereal aisle at the Publix in Gainesville, Georgia. It was the summer of 2005, and the warm air felt heavy with memories she couldn't escape. 8 months earlier, a terrible car crash had taken her husband and their unborn baby. She had woken from a coma into a world that no longer made sense. Now she lived quietly as a teacher and devoted dog mom to her golden retriever Bailey, trying to survive one day at a time. She reached for a box when her cart gently bumped into another. "Oh, I'm so sorry," Nastasia said, flustered. A tall, handsome man with steady eyes and a calm smile turned toward her. "No, that was completely my fault. I'm Frederick Luton." They stood there talking longer than strangers usually do. Something about his voice felt faintly familiar, but she pushed the thought away. For the first time in months, she laughed at something he said. A few days later, they ran into each other again at the same Publix. This time, Frederick asked her to coffee. One coffee turned into dinner, then long walks in downtown Gainesville. The pull between them grew stronger with every meeting. One humid evening on her front porch, Frederick looked at her with intense eyes. "Nastasia, I know this is fast, but I haven't felt this way about anyone in a long time." She stepped closer, heart racing. "Then don't stop," she whispered. He pulled her into his arms and kissed her deeply. The kiss quickly became passionate, his hands sliding down her back as she pressed against him. "Come inside," she breathed. That night, their connection turned physical. His touch was confident and tender, making her feel desired and safe in a way she thought was gone forever. Their bodies moved together with urgent need, soft moans filling her bedroom as he whispered her name like a promise. Over the next weeks, their secret romance burned hot. Stolen kisses in his car, passionate nights where he made love to her like she was the only thing that mattered. Frederick listened to her pain about losing her husband and baby. He held her when the panic attacks came. She was falling hard. Then one quiet evening at his apartment, while Frederick was in the shower, Nastasia noticed an old newspaper clipping on his table. She picked it up casually, and her world shattered. The headline read, "Northeast Georgia Medical Center Trauma Doctor Acquitted in 2004 Fatal Crash Malpractice Case." Her hands began to shake as she read the names. Frederick Luton, listed as one of the trauma doctors who had worked desperately to save her husband that terrible night. When Frederick stepped out of the bathroom in just a towel, he saw her standing there, tears streaming down her face, clutching the paper. "You," her voice cracked with pain and betrayal. "You were one of the doctors treating my husband the night he died. You knew who I was this whole time?" Frederick's face went pale. "Nastasia, please, let me explain." "Explain?" she cried, stepping back. "You knew I lost my husband and my baby in that crash. You knew I was the widow, and you still let me fall in love with you without saying anything. How could you hide this from me, Frederick?" He reached for her, voice breaking. "I wanted to tell you so many times. When I first saw you in that grocery store, I recognized you immediately, but you looked so broken, and then I started falling for you. I was terrified if I told you the truth, I'd lose you forever. I'm so sorry." Nastasia shook her head, heart tearing in two. "I trusted you. I gave myself to you. And all this time it was built on a lie. How am I supposed to believe anything between us was real?" She turned toward the door, tears falling, caught between the man she had grown to love and the nightmare of the past he had hidden.